Only his functionalist ideas I'll be teaching. He is a French structural functionalist, we consider him, because he takes structural with his functions together. So therefore, he is considered to be a structural functionalist. And his sociological school grow. That means he considered to be a very renowned social scientist and sociologist in Euro-American sociology. Of course, he's a French-born sociologist, but he was popular in other parts of the Europe, specifically in American sociology, because of his ethnographic orientation to study social behavior. So therefore, in America also, he was very popular, and because of his ethnographic orientations, the functionalist orientation he has presented or given to us to understand social behavior. So there are two important works of Emile Durkheim, which is very, very important. One is the division of labor in society, which you must learn it in last semester, and the other one, the rules of sociological methods. In both the books, you find the basic orientation of British structural functionalism. That means he was also largely influenced by the British model of understanding social behavior, in sense that he considered to be much more influenced by the anthropological tradition of British school. So there are schools, and I'll explain in some other class. There are certain schools, as far as the functionalist is concerned. There is a British school, there is American school. Those who talk about structural functional approach. If you look at Emile Durkheim and his understanding of social behavior, basically there is one background of Emile Durkheim which is very important to know, that he was Jewish. But initially he was interested in ethics, and later on he shifted his orientation to understand religion as of the important subject of studying the society. Therefore, what Emile Durkheim has explained that in his writings, that functionalism as a consistent theory. This is a very important point I am trying to make. Functionalism as a consistent theory and use of function as a method of explaining certain social phenomenon. That means how social phenomenon can be explained, and explaining the phenomenon of society or social behavior, there are a functionalist method which is revealed. And this is a very important point I am trying to make, that how functionalism as a method. Emile Durkheim tried to talk about function not as the prerequisites for society, rather function as a method to understand social behavior. So understanding social behavior through functionalist perspective, and he used function as a method. So what does it mean? It means that he is interested to use function not as other functionalists tries to do, but he said that if you want to study society, look at the behavior and how this behavior are functional. So therefore, the term function for him is used as a methodology. What I have said so far while talking about Malinowski and his need theory, and Malinowski was always emphasizing that each and every aspects of culture and traits, they are useful because they exhibit certain functions. Clear? If you have not remembered, not understood, I can't help it. But what Durkheim is trying to say? Durkheim is saying it is okay, it contributes, but how does it operates? So the operational aspect to understand social behavior can be used in a methodology, because what Emile Durkheim was interested, he was interested to establish sociology as an autonomous scientific discipline. So while establishing sociology as a scientific discipline, he was always interested to talk about the methodological aspect of it. Therefore, that book, The Rules of Sociological Methods. So if you look at the rules of sociological method, that book, you will find that what he's trying to talk about while talking about methodology, and he takes a functionalist approach, and functionalist has a methodological approach to understand social behavior. You know, the sociology, the intention of Emile Durkheim to have a sociology as an autonomous scientific discipline, because he is trying to elaborate upon the subject matter of sociology. What does it mean? It means he talks about social facts. For example, suicide is a social fact. Any marriage is social fact. Any division of labor is a social fact. So whatever you see around, it's all social facts, and these social facts need to be studied in an objective manner, by which we can establish sociology as a scientific discipline. So therefore he talks about division of labor, and he talks about the characteristics of division of labor, which is external as well as coercive, which I have already discussed earlier. I'll be again discussing these points today. Point here is he wants to establish sociology as an autonomous discipline. Autonomous disciplines means its data, that means how these autonomous discipline means how the data which we collect and how these data has explained the behavior in an independent manner, the way it is being done in biology, psychology, or in other sciences. That means each science, though it may be biology or maybe chemistry or maybe psychology, these scientific approaches to understand the experiment that does with certain scientific nuances, with certain scientific features. So therefore, how does we make social science science? That was the concern Emile Durkheim was interested upon, and therefore he talks about our subject matter is social facts. That means what we see around, it's all social facts. But how these social facts can be studied, and how you are going to study is the methodological questions. You know, when you talk about science, science always talk about what to be studied, how we are going to study, and why we are going to study. What, how, and why. I think these are the three major questions in any scientific discourse.